Well, thank you for joining us on Smart 24 TV, where we are definitely driving your business. It is the 31st day of March 2022, and we do welcome you all. We have a guest today, and we're going to be talking about insurance from Sanlam. And the guest today that we have at Smart 24 is Mr. Mubbale Mugalya. Yes, the country representative and investment manager, Sanlam Investments East Africa. You're very much welcome.
Thank you very much, Kevin, for inviting me to live television. It's an honor. I've been looking forward to it.
Wow,
Thank you.
wow, we are glad you've made it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, definitely we have a lot that we're going to be talking about Sanlam. A lot of people need to know about Sanlam. They need to know what Sanlam is doing, how they are working, and we have the right person in the building to be talking to. We shall have all the answers that we definitely need to know about Sanlam. But still, I did introduce you, but I think you need to make a lot of more introduction about yourself, because maybe I may have left out some titles.
Right. Good morning, dear viewers. Good morning, everyone. Kevin has mentioned my name. My profession is investment management, and I've been doing that in Uganda for more than 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That is great.
I'm happy to have been part of a number of initiatives around investments beyond the company that I work for.
Okay.
I've been privileged to chair the Fund Managers Association for Uganda for the last 10 years. And I'm happy that the contributions that we've made in that direction are bearing fruit. And one of them is testament of us being here with you this morning.
Yeah.
So a quick introduction about Sanlam. I'm sure you've interacted with Sanlam in one way or the other. We have 3 businesses in Uganda. We have general insurance that covers short-term insurance, like accidents and fire.
Mm-hmm.
We have the life insurance business, which covers longer-term kind of insurance risks, such as covers for death, unfortunate death, or even medical insurance. Then the third business, which I'm privileged to lead the team, is investments. Our task is to basically invest money for our clients. So that is a brief history or an introduction about Sanlam in Uganda.
So like literally Sanlam, about insurance, it's handling like everything around, because there are people who insure, there are companies, that insure, and they are specific about certain things only, maybe only life, only health.
Yes.
So Sanlam insures all, like
yes,
you're working around.
We do have, we offer services or risk management, both the short-term risks and also the long-term risks. So we have our colleagues who are able to provide that kind of products or solutions to all types of clients.
Wow, that is great. That is great to know about Sanlam. I'm actually learning a lot from Sanlam, because I really didn't have so much idea about it. And I'm glad that you're also here. So fantastic. I also have the opportunity to learn more about Sanlam. Then apart from your journey and all about Sanlam, what value are you bringing or delivering to Ugandans?
Thank you, Kevin. I think that's
because the services are there.
The services
are
there.
What is that value?
What we are solving.
Yes.
So, in my capacity as team leader for the investment team, our core business or our core offering is to add value to clients by way of an interest or a return on investment per se. Maybe to take you a little bit back, we have been doing the work as Sanlam Investments in Uganda for investment management for close to 17 years now. And we've been providing this service to primarily institutional clients. These include pension funds. A couple of companies within Uganda have, pension funds on top of NSSF, and this money needs to generate value for the members who are saving. We also have been managing a number of corporates, insurance companies and other trusts, where they do have money, which we provide the best vehicles, taking into account their needs. Different businesses or different individuals have very, very unique needs. And in terms of the problem that we're solving right now, and which I'm also happy to engage you on from a personal basis, we are glad that now we also have an offering for individuals, a vehicle that is a bit more flexible. The bigger clients, I think, have been, dominating, and they've enjoyed the benefits or the fruits of our work. But we are happy that now we are able to actually reach an individual investor.
You bring it down.
Who can invest as low as 100,000. So primarily investment management, but there's a lot of work that goes on in the background in terms of managing risks, ensuring that the objectives of the different clients are met, ensuring that investor protection is adhered to. And we're also very thankful for all our regulators for participating in that journey of ensuring that investors are protected, and a framework is very conducive for them to, to benefit from the professional work that we do as investment managers.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what talking about all the services that you're giving as Sanlam, the insurance services that you're giving, when a client comes to you, you definitely give kind of guidance and about what you want, about what they want. Okay. Yeah. What would you advise me if I came? What services would you advise me to take up if I came to Sanlam?
Fantastic. So I would want to answer your question by maybe giving examples of recent that we've been party to. We've been privileged to be a part of individual journeys in terms of growth. We've also been privileged to be part of institutional journeys, and maybe I can share with you a few examples.
Okay.
One of them is in the most recent time when COVID was raging. You are very aware that schools were heavily affected.
So much.
Because
I think they had the longest lockdown. One of the sectors that had the longest lockdown.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of moments of start, stop. Are they going back? Are the children going back to school? Are they not going back to school? And one of our product offering for one of the schools provided some sort of relief. Some schools opted for the amount of money that they had on their bank statements or in their bank account, they used it to pay salaries for the teachers, so that they can retain those teachers.
Okay, like right? Areas that were supposed to be for the lockdown.
During the lockdown, remember that teachers
they were
contractually
home.
They were home.
Yes.
But contractually they needed a salary to continue.
Okay.
Otherwise, when the schools open, you have a situation where teachers have probably found other schools sources of income. Yeah. Not even other schools.
Maybe they are like, here I think things are not working.
I'm not so sure.
So you have to maintain them, literally.
Yes, you have to maintain them.
Yeah, you have to maintain them, yes, so that you keep them.
You keep them. So you have an instance where one school, say, chooses that the money that we have on an account, we are going to, say, pay 50% of our teachers. They're not teaching, but we need to keep them. The other alternative would have been investing that money to earn interest. And from the interest that you've made from the money, you use that to pay the salaries. And by the time you come out of COVID, you still have your initial amount. You're still satisfying your teachers. In fact, they are very excited to work for you because other teachers are struggling. And we've seen that investment by its design can be a very rewarding, journey beyond just the return on investment, but it is also crucial for survival for some of these businesses.
Wow, that was really, really good.
Yes.
Because a lot of teachers, a lot of schools had so many complaints. Okay, they were going through a tough time.
Absolutely.
They were definitely going through a lot.
Absolutely.
Others actually shut down.
Exactly.
Yeah, others, there was actually a school that I think they turned it into rentals because they didn't know where to start from. They were literally down.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think that is a great one over there.
The second one I can give is for individuals who are retiring, where you're looking at a situation where someone has worked for 30 years and now they are facing the prospect of where am I going to get a bit of cash to survive. So on average, most companies I think would retire you. I don't know what the retirement age at Smart TV is. I'm guessing it's about 55
okay.
or 60.
Okay, guessing. Let's take it like that.
Yes. But the reality is after you've retired at age 55, 60, you're probably or are likely to live for quite some time, maybe up to 80 or 90 years.
Yeah.
And in that time,
even 100.
Even 100. In that time, you need some small money to, transport here and there, buy a dress, buy some food. And we found that our product offering, which is the unit trust, then provides that flexibility where someone can earn some income from their savings, and that interest is readily available for them to live on for a long period of time. And it is sustainable.
Yeah.
Yes, sustainability would be the very punch word in that regard.
How often do you create awareness about Sanlam to the public?
That's a very good question. We do our very, very best to ensure that the public is aware of, beyond even Sanlam, but the value that we actually bring to them.
Yeah.
I think as financial services as a whole, we still have a journey to go. There are very many players that have come up with a number of initiatives, both regulators, the Central Bank, Capital Markets Authority, Uganda Retirement Benefits Regulatory Authority. There are many players that are having all these initiatives to bring financial literacy or the financial benefits, or even just taking advantage of what is already available by the general public. So we need to continue doing more, but the journey is there. Yes.
Because when you're actually explaining, I feel so many people need these services.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but still there is that big number that doesn't know about these services, that don't even know where to start from.
Absolutely.
Maybe they even have an idea, but they don't know even where to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I feel people should know about this very often, how they can do it and who they can do it with.
Absolutely.
And definitely, of course, we have Sanlam that everyone would love to work with.
Yes.
Okay, now we get to the unit trusts.
Yes.
As a vehicle of choice
Yes.
for adding value to Ugandans,
Yes.
how does it work?
So, a unit trust by design is a very simple investment vehicle. A unit trust is not an asset in itself, but it is a way of pulling investors together so that they can take advantage of the opportunities that would have ideally not been accessible. Case in point, you have a situation where if you have, let's say, 500,000 Uganda shillings, and you just wanted to earn, interest on it, the investment vehicles open to you are quite limited. Many people come to us complaining that they've tried to negotiate with commercial banks, or they've tried to negotiate with so many other people. But because of the amount of money they're investing, they feel they are not at par with the wholesale market, the bigger players in the market.
Mm-hmm.
So a unit trust is basically an investment vehicle. What we basically do is it pulls money from the public, and these could be institutions, it could be individuals, it could be the school that I talked about, it could be yourself.
Yeah.
And then once that money is in one pool, we then find the most competitive investments for it. And the benefits from those investments are then shared out equally.
Mm.
So it doesn't matter whether you have a lot of money or very little money.
A big
you're treated,
or not, you
yes,
can still fit in there.
Absolutely. So you're treated equitably. But as you can imagine, someone who has invested 100 million, maybe their interest will be maybe 10 million in a year. Someone who's invested 1 million, then the actual quantum of money is proportionate, probably be about 100,000, 110,000. Yes.
Wow,
so it's a pooling vehicle. And we're thankful that in Uganda we actually have regulations that allow for these vehicles to exist. So they are regulated by Capital Markets Authority. The regulations were written, or they were actually passed into law 20 years ago, which means we are talking about unit trusts now, but ideally the regulatory framework has been in place for 20 years. So we are doing a bit of a catch-up to provide these services to the general public.
Okay. Wow, that is a good one over there from Sanlam, where we are insuring so many things. We are insuring lives. We are insuring our capital. We are investing. We are literally doing everything at Sanlam that can help us. You talked about the pension and the retirement.
Absolutely.
It is a key thing.
Absolutely.
People have retired and they have got issues when they are home. Someone actually retires and they literally don't have anything on them. They've never invested, they've never secured their future. And I think it's a very big call, because you look at so many people, sometimes you get to the news and people are crying out. I was working for this long, I was doing this, but now, people keep on calling government. Government should come and help me. Government should come and help me. But I feel now this is the right time that people have to come out and understand some of these things. That's why I called for more awareness about these things. I saw like Sanlam, it's an investment company in East Africa.
Absolutely, yes.
But like in Uganda, do you go to other regions apart from here in Central?
I think on a number of levels as Sanlam, we are engaged not just within East Africa, but also across the continent.
Okay. But it's originally from East Africa?
From South Africa.
From South Africa, okay.
Yes. The group is actually, we celebrated 100 years in 2018.
100 years?
100 years in existence.
Okay.
And as a group, I think our primary objective is to provide financial services. So in some markets, we are there doing banking. In some markets, we're there doing insurance. And in some markets, we're doing investment management. Our African footprint, or the number of countries that we're operating in within Africa, number 33. And we're hoping that there could be more, but the group is a Pan-African business to provide financial services on the African continent. On the next level, in terms of how we are providing services as Sanlam Investments East Africa Limited, we have an office in Kenya, we have an office in Uganda, but we have clients across the region. We have clients from Tanzania, we have clients from Rwanda, Uganda and Kenya. And when we're investing or deploying these assets, we have the capabilities to deploy the assets across the region as well.
Okay.
So when we're doing our work, we take into account what is happening across the region. When we're advising our clients, when they come to ask the hard questions, we have answers beyond Uganda.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, I do understand that, but I really want to get back to what I asked you.
Yes.
Regions like, okay, because it's in Africa,
Yes.
you talked about countries, but I'm talking about Uganda.
Yes.
If I'm in Eastern Uganda, if I'm in Western Uganda, if I'm in the North,
Yes.
do you have regional coordinators or offices or in those places, those regions in our country here in Uganda?
We do have regional presence across the whole country. We have, we are privileged that as a group, for example, Sanlam Life in particular, we have branches across the country. I'm not certain about the actual number of branches right now, but I think there are more than 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we are represented at least in the major business centers, you know, Jinja, Mbarara, Gulu, and the like, but even other reasonably smaller business centers. And we believe that we provide, you know, services not just from a physical realm of there is a branch where you can walk into, but also from the various digital platforms that we are providing that are enabling, you know, investors, but also insurance clients to take up products through digital channels.
Okay.
Yes.
You have a hotline?
Absolutely.
Okay.
We have a hotline, we have a website, we have an app, we have all these things.
So in case I want to know about anything, I can just chip in, even if I don't get to the, you know.
Not to the branch, no. Actually, it's far more efficient to give us a call, you know, send us WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp line. We have
and they do like reply immediately.
Absolutely.
Most of the times people get issues with these things.
Absolutely.
Someone actually, people keep on, you know, having issues with customer care.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
But like, you know, we do call and, you know, maybe you send a message and it takes a month and yet you want immediate answers. But then it takes like a month. So how is it at Sanlam? How is your hotline? How is generally?
You know, what you're talking about is not something faced by just the public, but myself as well.
Okay.
I get into some of these things with other people, so I know exactly what you're talking about. That you need channels that are there. What we found that if you provide a lot more self-service, you know, services or menus, it reduces the gaps that you need to sort from an individual perspective. So from an investment perspective, we have many questions coming around what the product is. So we've made it very, very easy to find information on the product. We've also made it very easy for the clients we've onboarded to look at how their investments are performing, so they don't have to call you every day to know how much money did I make. And then we also provide them, you know, with statements on a regular basis, information. Our social media is quite active. So you find that when you give information to the public, then there are fewer questions to deal with when it comes to customer service, because they can reach you quickly and you respond. And also the way they reach you, they actually asking the very, you know, the right questions. Yes. Yeah.
So you know, so many businesses have crashed out because of customer care.
Absolutely.
Like living alone, even doing online and anything, just coming right from the small businesses or medium enterprises, they are really having a lot of issues, and others are breaking down because of customer care.
Yes.
You get somewhere and the reception is so bad. you call someone and then they tell you, please keep waiting, please keep waiting, please keep waiting until you get fed up, then you just put off, you're like, no.
Exactly.
So it is good that at Sanlam, at least I hope, at least when I call in, definitely I'll get the feedback.
Kevin, you have to test our product.
Yeah, I should test it out.
You can actually...
Really? So that I testify?
Yes, you can testify. Yes.
Yeah, like I need to try it out, of
Absolutely.
course, and I'll definitely give you feedback, like
Absolutely.
right to you,
Absolutely.
because I have the immediate person, the contact person in Sanlam that I can definitely talk to.
Yes.
And then we do talk about the rising costs of goods. We are having a lot of issues. Everyone is worried about it. If you move around, if you go to any place,
Yes.
if you go to town, just even right out here, you'll get people having issues about the rising costs of goods. Where do you see a solution like Unit Trust coming in to support citizens? Because it is really on the hype. Inflation, everyone is actually down because of that. We are actually having some industries in Uganda that manufacture certain things, but they are still high.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about inflation. I think we are feeling it, but there is a journey to it.
Okay.
So I think I've seen some people propose very, simple solutions. There aren't simple solutions to some of these things.
Yeah, but okay, so you feel they are not good enough to sort this out?
I think they can work, but they cannot work in isolation. That is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
That the issue of cost is a little bit bigger than just us as individuals or businesses or even the country. And then I'm going to talk about a little bit more about investing. And I think I'd mentioned that either from an individual perspective or from an institutional perspective, the conversation around return on investment should be had. At least let us agree in principle that everyone should have a component of interest in whatever they are doing.
Okay.
Then they can choose whether to take it up or not, but at least discuss it. So from a professional perspective, and I think these are some of the sentiments that we share with our clients because they ask the same questions. Where is this inflation coming from? We are all aware that COVID did put a chokehold on a number of things. When countries are in lockdown, manufacturing is not going on as it has been.
Yeah.
There are businesses that go out of operation completely.
Yeah, so many of them.
They can't come back simply because you've reopened the market. Maybe they had loans, maybe it's a whole chain. And this affects the whole globe, from the big manufacturing countries like China, and where we buy most of our things, to locally here.
Yeah.
So globally, I think we are seeing inflation being at its highest that it has ever been in the last 30 years.
Okay.
So definitely we're talking about very unusual times. Then of course there are other challenges around moving goods around. The cost of containers. When you talk to importers, they'll tell you the cost of a container to come to Uganda has probably maybe doubled or tripled.
Yeah,
I'm not certain of the number.
It has, I think, tripled.
It has tripled.
Yeah, it has tripled because I've literally talked to some people, interacted with some people, and when they tell you the figures, before
and after.
And after.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness,
exactly.
It is just tripled, not even doubling.
Exactly. So even before a good gets to Uganda, it's already coming at a very high cost.
Yeah.
And business community cannot sell at a lower price because they have to stay in business. So they also have to raise prices. And we are seeing that these chokeholds on goods and services coming in is likely to persist for some time. So I don't think that everything should have normalized within the next 3 months. But I expect that there's going to be pain for maybe a year or so.
Okay.
Exactly.
According to the general market trend, how the trend is, you really feel like we need just 1 year and things can
things unravel.
Because from the time they reopened, how long has it been? We reopened in January.
Reopening has not
and I feel like things are escalating.
Actually escalating, yes. So I don't see a solution that is going to bring down prices within the next 3 months. And fuel, food, and all the other things that we import are all coming in at higher prices. All this is, from a technical language, we call it supply-related kind of inflation. It is not that we have a lot of money, that we are buying all these things and the price is going up because we have a lot of money. It's because the goods themselves are coming at a higher price.
At a very high price.
Exactly. Yeah. So what that happens is that if someone has been earning $1 million in a salary, technically, what $1 million could buy you last year, it's going to buy you a fraction.
Can even be quarter of what you used to buy.
Absolutely. So we are looking at situations of how do we then add value in terms of how do we try to reduce that burden. Our recommendation is, I think every one of us has talked about savings and savings and savings, but we now need to have honest conversations around how much your capital, even if it is small, can it generate more income so that we can reduce the burden of inflation. That would be my recommendation. There are many assets or vehicles that we can take advantage of, but some are very, very simple, such as the unit trust. The Sanlam Income Fund is open to investors. They can invest as low as 100,000 and start to earn interest.
That is individual.
From an individual, but even an institution, the minimum is the same. We treat all our customers.
How does it work generally?
So what would happen is that you'd have to get in touch with us to open an account. We do have an application form which someone has to fill out. And then after they've filled out the application and provided us with some of their personal details, like national ID, I think it's a requirement everywhere you go.
Yeah, everywhere,
Yeah, we need to know the people, we need to know our customers. After that opening process, then you start to invest. And the beauty which lends into the conversations around inflation is that because the unit trust is very, very flexible, you can invest money today and you have access to it any day they are going forward. So your money is not fixed for a long term. You can top up anytime you want. So we want unit trust to be part of.
I can deposit today, and after 2 days I want it back.
Of course, you will not have any interest earned by that time, but
I can literally get it.
Ideally, the product is very flexible. So you find that why not take advantage? As and when you're earning income, as and when you're doing business, have an investment account where part of your money is generating interest on a daily basis.
Those investment accounts, yes. If today I woke up and opened up an investment account with Sanlam, you have a memorandum of understanding, right?
Absolutely.
If I have a memorandum of understanding with Sanlam and I was investing for a certain period of maybe 5 years or something, and I needed it before 5 years, can I get it?
Yes. So we don't have fixed terms.
You don't have fixed terms. On it. You literally don't have those in that other
lock-in periods.
Yeah, of fixed investment.
There are other products like life insurance products where you have fixed terms for particular risks. The unit trust, by its nature, is a very flexible investment vehicle. What we are saying, or the mindset that we would want to drive, is that each one of us, be it an individual, be it a company, you should have an investment account. The investment account is very flexible. You can put a minimum amount of capital. You can top up anytime you want to, and when you need to draw down, just like the example I gave you for the school, where they can invest part of the school fees that they receive, earn interest on that money, and then they can easily, or in a flexible manner, be able to pay salaries on a monthly basis and the like. So you can design a very flexible way of doing business, of managing personal finance, but we have a vehicle that can enable you to do that. Our thinking is that it is high time that we take a return on investment or a return on capital very, very seriously, so that we can eliminate capital that is lazy. You know, you have assets there doing nothing.
Doing nothing,
yes.
Really. Yeah.
And Ugandans, we do like a lot of assets that do nothing. There are people who like to look at their bank account, it is big, and every day, as long as he looks at it, he's happy. There are people who like to buy chunks and chunks of land, grass.
Yeah.
There's no economic activity.
There, dormant.
There's no economic activity. It's high time we discussed why is this capital not earning more. You know, if you have land, at least have a conversation around planting trees on it, or leasing it to someone to do an economic activity on it, so that it can generate, because that capital you've invested there, and then to bring it back to inflation, because inflation is not likely to disappear anytime soon. It means that capital is being eroded on a daily basis. So you need to have assets that are also generating a return on investment, so that at the end of the day, people don't feel like the little that they're earning is being washed away, and they feel helpless in that regard.
You talked about the banks, actually, people looking at money on their accounts and they feel, okay, this is okay. Yeah. With banks, at a certain point, you'll find that there are, I think, charges or something. The way you put the money is not the way you will find it at a certain point. If I'm investing with Sanlam, it reminded me, I'm having any services with Sanlam, particularly investment. Are there any charges incurred?
We definitely are in business, but we look at it as a partnership. So in this case, we're looking at a situation where if you invest with us through the Sanlam Unit Trust, you can earn an interest of about 10 to 11% after costs. So there are some costs there, but what we deliver to our clients, we don't want to deliver something and then come back and say, oh, by the way, part of it you need to bring it back. I think in terms of the market, it would be a bit confusing. People would want to know, I've invested X, I'm getting in the ranges of Y, and consistently. So we do have management fees, because when we're managing this money, we do take into account things like licenses, the staff that work for us, the systems that ensure that everything is running smoothly. But the interest that we give to our investors is already net of those fees. So when we come to you with a product offering or an interest of 10 to 11, that is already net of the management fees.
If I want to open up an account with Sanlam and I cannot access your offices, can I do it online?
Yes. There
is
the website. You can look through the website, or you can send your application on email. We are working with telecoms to see how best to even further that deepening of access. I would say that the technology has really played a very big part, particularly after the pandemic. On both sides, the users and also the businesses have adopted technology to reduce the frictions. So we are onboarding clients through e-channels, and also when we're communicating to them, we also can communicate to them over all the e-channels that we have available.
So I can literally sit here and open up an account
Absolutely.
with Sanlam without getting there?
No, you don't need to come to the office.
Okay.
Yes.
How am I guaranteed that I'm really now working with Sanlam? And yes.
When you sign up with us, you definitely see some sort of interactions. You start to see, we usually ask some of our clients to give us their email addresses.
Okay.
So you start to see conversations around your account. You receive a welcome message. Kevin, dear Kevin, we are very excited that you've chosen us as an investment partner. We look forward to working with you because we are looking at an investment account as a lifelong journey. Okay?
Yes.
You're in employment. What happens after employment? You still need income.
Yes,
so we are likely to be there, not just when you're still earning income, but also when you actually need to be paid some sort of cash flows when you're retired. So we treat you very warmly because this is likely to be a partnership for a long time.
For a long time.
And then we pledge that on every single day we deliver what we've promised. Okay? In terms of client interactions, you notice that every time a transaction happens on your account, you still receive notification. Kevin, you have deposited 100,000 today. Kevin, you have withdrawn 200,000 today, so that the activity on your account can easily be tracked. Anytime any transaction is done on your account, you will be notified. Yes.
So like the minimum amount that I can deposit is 100,000?
100,000, but once you have an account with us, you can top up with as low as 50,000.
Oh.
Yes.
Like if I have an account and the 100,000 is for startup.
For
if
account
I'm starting
opening.
up
Yes.
account opening.
Yes.
That is what I was talking about. Is it that whenever I am depositing,
Yes.
I have to deposit minimum of 100,000?
The initial investment is 100,000, but then the top-ups can be as low as 50,000.
50,000.
Yes.
Okay.
We engage our clients on how they want to do their regular top-ups. You recall that if you're sending money through a bank, someone sending 50,000 and someone sending 10 million, the cost is the same.
Okay, yes.
The transaction cost is the same. So we usually then engage our clients to find the different ways that also take into account either what bank they are using or what mobile number they are using to try and minimize friction, because there are different ways of going about it. People can invest money through the agency network, directly in the bank, and so on and so forth.
Okay, wow, that is a really good one. I feel like I should start investing now with Sanlam, because at a certain point, okay, I can also invest not for retirement, but I can invest for something.
Absolutely.
I need something, and I'm like, okay,
I need to build up. Do
you give those other options? Like
the investment account is at your service.
It is you who knows what you should use your investment for.
But we are also available to chat a few. Sometimes we try to save for some things that some people might have question marks around it. Once in a while we do engage our direct customers to say, okay, you want to do X, but have you thought about Y?
That's what I was actually getting to. If someone invested with you, because I can decide, because of you talking to me, then I understand the services. I can be like, okay, instead of in a week, maybe a day, I can waste this amount of money.
Absolutely.
Instead of wasting it going out or something, I think let me put this money.
Top up my investment account
and put it there. But then I don't have a target, like maybe I want this. But just because I feel maybe instead of wasting this small money, I should put it here. Do you have that time and you talk to your customers and at least try to give them some kind of guidance on how to use these monies? Because financial discipline, some people don't have it. Some people literally don't have it. So I can invest my money and I wake up in the morning and I'm like, let me remove this money, but just for luxury. Do you do that kind of guidance to the customers?
And as you can imagine, you know, let's say you have thousands and thousands of customers, it might be a bit not cost effective to do it on an individual basis. So what we're doing is we do a scheduled sort of investor engagements, both for our clients but also the wider public. I think with the channels, the e-channels, and also television and radio are all mediums where we can reach the general public. And in those engagements, then we can talk about different subjects. So it's not only about what Sanlam is offering, but we can have honest conversations around investments.
You at least go an extra mile.
Exactly. And I would love for us to have, you know, some panels around investments. Get some experts. Let's say we take some time to talk about property. There are risks, there are advantages. But when you're going in with your capital, are you actually doing it the right way? Are you going to get a return on your capital? Should you avoid certain things? Are certain things working very well in some places and not very well in other places? So we would want to engage our investors in topical items around investments, around financial planning. Can we talk about retirement in particular? Okay? Retirees, I mean, people in the ages 50, 60 will tell you it is not a very, we might take it lightly here, but for someone who doesn't have an income, we are talking about a livelihood. There are no rooms for errors. Okay? The room for errors is for us who have options. But someone in retirement, there are no room for errors. We want to talk about the discipline issue. We can talk about, you know, even other topics. Ugandans are very knowledgeable people. We do like knowledge. What is happening in other markets? Are there interesting concepts that we've seen in Asia, in North Africa, that we can borrow as communities? All right? How we go about investor education, how we go about planning and investing. So we are happy to partner and journey through our clients. But we're organizing kind of engagements to tackle those topical issues.
Because I don't think you would wake up in the morning as Sanlam and have someone investing, by the end of the day they literally get nothing out of it. Because there are such individuals, there are such people. They do invest. By the end of it all, when they withdraw that money, when you ask them,
what have you done with the money? And then they don't have anything to show for it. They
totally don't have anything.
And that from a personal perspective, it's very painful.
Very painful.
It's very painful. Even as we start businesses, as individuals, as a general public, someone, you know, collects capital, maybe 50 million, 100 million, and then in a year they have nothing to show for. Remember, to collect the 50 million, it takes time.
It's a hassle.
You sweat for it. Maybe you haven't slept for some time, and then, you know, one bad investment decision, and then you have nothing to show for it. It's very painful.
Okay, definitely. We are still with the country representative and investment manager at Sanlam Investments East Africa, Mr. Mubbale Mugalya. We just tap into a very short break and we shall get back.
Smart 24, driving business.